Good morning, children. Namaste. How are you all? Children, wishing you an advance happy Independence Day. Children, we will have a short recap of previous session and then we will continue the further lesson. Okay. Children, in the previous session, we have discussed what is matter. Matter is anything that has mass and occupies space. So, what is matter? Anything that has mass and occupies space is called matter. And matter exists in how many states, children? They exist in 3 states. They are solid, liquid, and gases. Then we discussed what is volume. The amount of space a substance occupies is known as volume. Tiny particles that make up matter are called molecules. So what are molecules then? Molecules are the tiny particles that makes matter. Okay. Children, here I have given a tabular form of different states of matter and their properties. Just have a look on it. Solids. What are the properties of solid there? Solid has definite shape, definite volume, and molecules are closely packed, right? What about liquids? Liquids have no definite shape, has definite volume, and molecules are very closely packed. Molecules are not closely packed. Gases has no definite shape, no definite volume, and what about the molecules in gases? They are very loosely packed, means they are very far from each other. Children, you have to learn this table. It will help you out to write differences between solids and gas. You can write even differences between liquids and gases. For example, let's have a look. If the question comes, write differences between solid and gas. So what are the points we can consider? Solids have definite shape, definite volume. What about the gases then? Gases have no definite shape and no definite volume. Then we'll go for the molecular arrangement. In solid, the molecules are closely packed. In gases, the molecules are loosely packed. And then you can give further examples of solids and gas. Like example of solid, like you can give brick, stone, like anything. And for gas, you can give the example like smoke, steam, water vapor, right? So this table will help you out to write differences between solids and liquids, liquids and gas, or solids and gas. So please learn this table thoroughly. Now come on, let's move to the next topic of the lesson. Children, today we are going to learn about change of state of matter. What are the 3 states we have learned, children? What are the 3 states we have learned? Solid, liquid and gas, right? So here we are going to learn how solid can change into liquid, or liquid can change into solid, liquid can change into gas. Why does it happen? It happens because of change in temperature. You can see here, the water when it's heated, it is converted into steam. You can see the steam. When you boil the water, you can see the steam, right? Then same water, when you keep it in the deep freeze, it turns into ice. That is, ice is a solid form of water. So the same liquid can change into solid, or liquid can change into gas when there is a change in temperature. So that's nothing but change of state of matter. Let us try to understand one by one. So children, before we start the lesson, as usual, we will come across the new words. So learn these new words thoroughly. The first word is here, melting. M-E-L-T-I-N-G. Melting. Melting, almost all of you are aware of this word. Generally, when you hold the ice cream after 5 minutes, what happens? The ice cream start melting, right? Very good. Next is freezing. F-R-E-E-Z-I-N-G. Freezing. Learn the spelling, children. The next word is, children, evaporation. E-V-A-P-O-R-A-T-I-O-N. Evaporation. Process. P-R-O-C-E-S-S. Process. Condensation. C-O-N-D-E-N-S-A-T-I-O-N. Break the word, children, and learn the spelling and write them in the classroom. Let's try to understand what is melting. The process by which a solid changes into a liquid by heating is called melting. Let's have an example. Here, yeah, your favorite, right? Ice cream. When it is kept in the freeze, it remains in solid form. As soon as you take out from the refrigerator and keep it for 10 to 15 minutes, what happens? It starts changing into liquid. That is nothing but melting. Yeah. What is this one? Melting of butter. Even ice. When you keep the ice on your hand also, you can enjoy. You can see that ice is turning into water. So when the solid changes into liquid, that process is called melting. You can find the example of like candle burns, right? When you burn a candle, it starts changing into liquid. Have you observed on that? Right. Exactly opposite of melting is freezing. In melting, what happens, children? This solid changes into liquid or heating. In the same way, when the liquid is cooled, when it is freeze, it changes into what, children? It changes into solid. Okay. So the process by which a liquid changes to solid by cooling is called freezing. So what is a freezing then? The process by which a liquid changes to a solid by cooling is called freezing. So melting and freezing, everybody understood? Melting is a changing solid into liquid, and freezing is changing liquid into solid. Exactly vice versa, opposite of each other. And all these are happening because of either by heating or either by cooling. Let's have an example of freezing. Almost everybody know about it, right? When you keep the ice tray in the deep freeze, the water changes into ice. The next one. This is a natural example I give. In the nature also, when the temperature suddenly cools very cool, at that time what happened? You might have seen about snow formation, or the ice is formed on the trees, right? The small, it gets freeze. The water is freezed into the form of ice, right? The next process we are going to learn about evaporation. The process by which liquid changes to a gas by heating is evaporation. In the nature, water bodies like oceans, seas, rivers, ponds, what happened due to sun heat? The water present in the water bodies like ocean, river, it changes into water vapor, and that process is called evaporation. Can we see the air? No, even we can't see the water vapor, but they are present in the air. Okay. Now, one more example of evaporation I want to give here. Right. When you boil the water, you can see the steam. Here, what happened here? Due to heat, the water changes into what? It changes into gaseous form. What is a gaseous form? It can be a water vapor. It can be a steam also, right? So, what is evaporation? The process by which liquid changes to a gas by heating is evaporation. I can give you many more examples of evaporation. Daily we wash our clothes. The clothes get dried. So what is that process? Our clothes, when they are washed, they are wet. And when they are dried, what happened to the water? It is evaporated. Even we do mopping, right? With the wet floor. After 10-15 minutes, what happened to that? It gets dried. So that is also processes of evaporation. So what is happening in evaporation? The liquid is changing into gas form by heating. So how many of you clear with this now? Evaporation, right? Next one. The exact, as we learn melting and freezing, same way, opposite of evaporation is condensation. Exact opposite process. The process by which gas changes to liquid. So in evaporation, what we learn? Where the liquid is changing into gas. But in condensation, gas is changing into liquid by cooling. It is called condensation. So what is the spelling of condensation? Repeat with me. CONDENSATION. I hope you all are also telling loudly along with me, right? So what is condensation then? The process by which a gas changes to a liquid by cooling is condensation. Let's have an example. Generally, when you cook food or the hot food, when it is covered with the lid, you can find some tiny droplets. Are you able to see, children? Okay. These are droplets are formed because of when the steam gets cooled, it again changes into water. and this is called as a condensation. Let's see one more example. Generally, you might be aware of this. When you take out any bottle from the refrigerator, or you keep very cool water in the glass, what happens? On the glass surface, after some time, you find some tiny droplets. These tiny droplets are nothing but water vapor which are present in the air. When they come in contact with the very cool, what happens? Even they change into liquid. So, when the gas, this example I am taking about water vapor which are present in the air, water vapor which are present in the air. When they come in contact with cool surface, what is a cool surface? Here we take very chilled water, very cool water. What happens? When this air passes from the glass, this water vapor which are present in the air, they condenses. They condenses means what? They change into tiny water droplets. Even I request you to kindly do this experiment at your home also. Take out any bottle from the refrigerator. For example, your tomato sauce bottle, or your sauce bottle, or your jam bottle. After 10 minutes, you just try to touch the outer surface of the bottle and you will find that it becomes wet. Then you will understand that is a process of condensation. Okay. So let's have, in short, we will discuss about how the change of states of matter. Children, see here, water. So here I have given a short recap of whatever the different process we have discussed today. What are the process we discussed today? Melting, freezing, evaporation, condensation. Just have a look at when the solid get heated, it changes into water. Here I have given the example of your water. When the ice is heated, it changes into water. So the process is called melting. When the water is cool, it changes into solid. This process is called freezing. Same water, when is heated, it changes to steam, that is evaporation. And when the steam is cool, what happens? When the gas is cool, it again changes into water. So it is called condensation. Children, now I am going to show you the live how the process of evaporation and condensation. Okay.
Children, let us see the live example of evaporation and condensation. What is evaporation, children? Changing liquid into gas. When we boil the water, what happens? The water changes into steam. That is called evaporation. Evaporation is nothing but changing water into water vapor or water into steam, where the liquid is changing into gas. Now here, look at here, watch it carefully. I just took boiled water. Now I'm just going to open the lid. You can see the steam coming out of. Are you able to see, children, steam? Right here, this steam is, even I can feel very hot steam. That is nothing but this is a evaporation. Now just watch it. I am going to take this hot water into a container. Now I think you can able to see clearly the hot steam is going up, right? Now this is a glass lid. It's very cool. I am just going to cover it. Please observe on this vessel. Have a watch. Now after 5 minutes, as this lid is cool, right? So when the steam goes up, due to cool temperature of this lid, it started condensing. You can slowly observe the tiny droplets are formed on the glass lid, inside the glass lid. We'll wait for 5 minutes. Now let us move to the second one. Children, here I took one glass. In that I fill all ice, right? This is a ice I get, chilled water and ice is there. Now, as I told, around us what is there? Air. Can we see the water vapor? No, but we want to prove that water vapors are present in the air. So, when I am taking a dry tissue paper and I am going to wipe it around the glass. You can see 5 minutes. You can find the tissue paper become wet. Why does it happen? Why the tiny droplets of water are formed on the outside of the glass? Is the ice is outside? No, the ice is inside. This make the temperature of the glass very cool. When air passes from it, what happens? Whatever the water vapor present in the air, they condenses on the cool surfaces. So this is also an example of condensation. You can observe this tissue paper. Even we will watch it after 5 minutes. Now come back to the previous one. We have kept the very hot water. Now I am just going to open the lid. What you observed here, children? These all are water. Yes, is it water is formed? See, this steam, when it comes in contact with cool temperature, it changes into water. So this process is called condensation. Are you able to see the tiny droplets now on the inside of the lid? Right. So hope you children today you have understood about all the 4 process, right? So read the textbook as well as solve the textbook exercises and complete your worksheet. Thank you.